Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at a illegal immigrant video that was created by Border Blitz, and I'm just going to give you my reaction to the video.
50 illegal immigrants were arrested at a nightclub in Denver. Federal officials say some of them were drug traffickers and gang members. As ICE continues its crackdown, Texas Governor Greg Abbott is adding more troops to the border.
In a bold and highly coordinated operation, ICE agents swept through a major Texas train station just after dawn, instantly halting all departures and arrivals within hours. Over 1,700 undocumented migrants were taken into custody and transported for immediate processing and deportation. The operation, carried out with surgical precision, marks one of the largest interior immigration actions ever conducted on U.S. soil, and it caught nearly everyone off guard. Surrounding the perimeter were armored DHS vehicles, K-9 units, and dozens of agents in tactical gear, sealing off all platforms and exits. Eyewitnesses described the scene as calm but intense. No chaos, no warnings, just swift action. Federal sources confirmed that ICE had been tracking high-risk individuals using surveillance biometric scans and intel gathered over months. At sunrise, federal ICE agents launched one of the largest interior immigration raids in U.S. history, locking down a major Texas train station in minutes. All trains were stopped, exits sealed, and over 1,700 undocumented migrants taken into custody before the public could react. The operation was quiet but overwhelming. Tactical teams and armored...
Do you hear that? So this is something that no one was able to track, and they were able to get in there, complete the mission of getting these illegal immigrants out of our community. Great job, ICE.
Vehicles and K-9 units formed a perimeter, while agents swept every platform. There was no warning, no panic, just fast, precise action. Sources say ICE had tracked several high-risk targets using biometric scans and surveillance intelligence gathered over months. This was more than an enforcement mission. It was a signal. Illegal immigration isn't just a border issue, and ICE proved they can strike anywhere. By 4:30 a.m., agents were already in place, working in tandem with local police, Amtrak security, and Homeland Security to seal the station without raising alarm. Every tunnel, stairwell, counter, and bus lane was secured before sunrise. By 6 a.m., the entire facility was under federal control. Most of the 1,700 detainees had outstanding removal orders, missed court dates, or carried fake documents. Biometric scanners confirmed IDs on the spot, while drones fed live intel to teams inside. Agents also seized forged IDs, burner phones, and encrypted devices linked to smuggling routes and gang activity across multiple states.
An ICE spokesperson sent us a statement about this that reads in part, quote, ICE respects the constitutional right of people to peacefully protest. However, assaulting, resisting, impeding, or harassing ICE officers and special agents or interfering in any way as they're executing their official duty is against the law. If any person assaults a federal law enforcement officer, they risk being prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
So again, why is anyone attacking ICE for doing their jobs? If you're not an illegal immigrant, you have nothing to worry about. You really have no reason to interfere. People who are illegal immigrants cannot stay in the country. So I don't know why anyone would want to attack a federal agent, attack ICE while they're in the process of doing their job.
Away from their communities because you're taking workers away from their cities, and they will not be silent.
This is not
Meantime,
your
here
city.
in San Antonio, ICE detainments continue outside immigration court downtown. Today, a Cuban man says his Bolivian wife and 2 children were detained after an immigration hearing.
ICE made it clear this was no random roundup. This was a precision strike on one of the fastest-growing migrant corridors in the U.S. Officials say the raid's success has already set the bar for what's coming next. When word got out, the response wasn't what you might expect. This time, it was overwhelmingly in support. Commuters who use the station daily said they've felt unsafe for months. One man told us, "It's about time someone did something." Texas Governor Greg Abbott issued a public statement applauding the operation, calling it a bold stand for law and order. Mayors from nearby cities praised it as a textbook example of cooperation between state and federal forces. Even on Capitol Hill, lawmakers called for more funding and greater ICE authority. With 1,700 arrests and zero
I agree. More funding is needed for ICE. Not only, it's needed for their protection. It's just like ICE agents are just being attacked. They need a lot of protection.
reports of violence, this wasn't just enforcement, it was a warning shot, and people noticed.
Enforcement raids are initiated across Texas today. We have seen this over the weekend. The Houston DEA, that office sharing these photos today. They say they assisted Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents in enhanced targeted operations in the Houston area. The governor also saying Texas DPS also assisting in these raids. And tonight, Homeland Security spokespersons here in Dallas at the Dallas office confirming raids did happen here in North Texas as well, including in Dallas, Fort Worth, Garland, Irving, and other parts of Collin County as well.
This wasn't guesswork. ICE leadership confirmed the entire Texas operation was built on deep surveillance, layered data, and months of tracking. Agents used biometric scans, rail transit records, and facial recognition tech to build a list of targeted individuals flagged for deportation. Many had already received removal orders from immigration courts, but slipped through the cracks.
Now, see, I love this. I love to mention that they are using a standard tactic to track down the people they're targeting. They're just not going out targeting someone. So when we look at these videos are so misconstrued. They make you think that, oh, they're just randomly attacking people. No, they have already identified who they're looking for in the area, and they're going after that person or persons. So very good to know.
Some skipped asylum hearings, others were tied to document fraud
they're
or
always
cross-border
doing
crime
something.
networks. ICE worked closely with Amtrak and local rail agencies to connect aliases with actual
Shout out to
ticket buyers.
Amtrak for helping
What
us
made this
out.
different was precision. Drones confirmed targets before any boots hit the ground. This wasn't a fishing expedition,
Boots on the ground.
one ICE official said. Everyone we detained had a legal reason to be on our radar. This was a shift, not just in size, but in style. ICE isn't sweeping neighborhoods at random anymore. They're zeroing in with surgical precision. The Texas
Awesome.
operation didn't just get results, it had real political firepower behind it. Within hours, DHS officials were praising it as a model for how immigration enforcement should be done. Governor Abbott called it a win for public safety and border integrity. And other southern state lawmakers said it should be the playbook for cities across the country. Local polls after the raid showed rising support, even among swing voters. Residents pointed to rising crime and overcrowding as reasons why ICE's approach felt overdue. At town halls and online, the message was clear. For many Americans, this wasn't controversial. It was common sense.
Exactly.
Support didn't just come from
Common
Texas.
sense.
Lawmakers across the South publicly called for similar crackdowns in sanctuary cities and major transit hubs nationwide.
Yeah, we need to talk about sanctuary cities. How are you going to allow people to stay here illegally? There's a process, and they all should go through the process. I'm not understanding the point of sanctuary cities, but we'll talk about it later.
The people of Texas deserve to feel safe, one representative
Exactly,
said. This is
safe. We
exactly
all
what
deserve
Americans
to feel
expect
safe.
when the law is broken over and over. Local sentiment echoed that.
And I don't understand why
in post-raid
laws
polling,
here in the U.S.
residents
have
showed
to be
rising
broken.
approval
Like,
for
why
ICE-led
can't everyone
operations,
follow the
especially
law?
in communities frustrated by overcrowding, overloaded
Yes.
services, and increased crime tied to undocumented migration. In town halls and online threads, people described feeling relieved. Some had seen loitering, others suspected stolen identities and illegal labor
Yeah,
schemes.
for
For them,
sure.
this wasn't a raid. It was law and order finally showing up. Even some national voices who once criticized ICE
422
shifted their
criminals in
tone.
Houston,
They acknowledged
illegal
the scale,
immigrants.
restraint, and coordination as a sign that immigration enforcement is evolving. What once sparked outrage is now gaining ground, and ICE is driving that change. The Texas train station raid wasn't a one-off. ICE has already confirmed they're using it as a template for future missions. High-risk terminals,
Great.
bus depots, even rideshare hubs are now under review. With the data gathered, biometric matches, burner phones, and smuggling intel, ICE is mapping out new enforcement zones. Internal sources say the agency's intelligence division is building full profiles of repeat offenders and trafficking networks.
So now this is awesome. All of the work that is going through, because the misinformation that's put out there is that ICE, again, it's just, acting like the Wild Wild West and just going out attacking people. No, they have strategies, they have intel, they have information on who they're actually targeting. So this is also refreshing to hear. So good job, ICE.
Technology is transforming how this works. AI-driven screening tools now flag high-risk behavior instantly. Mobile surveillance units scan IDs and license plates on the fly.
If
ICE
you're not
calls this
illegal,
the
you
future
have
of
nothing to
immigration
cry
control.
about.
Fast, data-driven, and nearly impossible to outrun. The Texas raid proved it can be done, and done cleanly. This isn't reactionary anymore. ICE is thinking ahead, planning quietly, and acting with support from voters and lawmakers alike. After the Texas raid, federal and state officials doubled down, praising the agency and urging Congress to go further.
Yeah,
New
they
bills
should.
are already being drafted to expand ICE's reach in airports, train stations, and
Airports.
infrastructure
Awesome.
hubs.
Yes.
Some proposals include faster deportation timelines, new tech
Yep,
partnerships,
we need it. We
and
need
tougher
faster
penalties for
deportation
fraud or
timeline.
smuggling.
We need to get them
State
out of
leaders
here
said
and
the
keep
massive
them out.
arrest count, over 1,700, proves the system was being exploited. Now, the momentum has shifted. Polling shows growing frustration over unchecked migration and support for strong, lawful action.
Yes.
This isn't about politics anymore. It's about restoring control.
And restoring our safety.
Polling across battleground states shows the tide turning. More Americans now favor direct, visible immigration enforcement, especially in high-risk zones. And ICE is leaning in. With public sentiment behind them, they're expanding operations and building a broader mandate. Officials say the Texas raid made one thing clear. Train stations, terminals, and city centers are no longer immune. Unlawful migration isn't just happening at the border. It's hiding in plain sight. And now, ICE has the tools.
Yeah, so that's really refreshing. Great video again by the Border Blitz. Yeah, I'm just so great. I'm glad to hear that there's a lot of strategy behind the process and that this dismantle all of the crazy talk and noise around ICE and how they operate. So great job again from ICE agents, just so that you know you have a fan over here. I think you guys are doing an amazing job, and hopefully we get some bills and laws that are passed that allow you to even further expand. Like I hear you want to go into the airports. So hopefully that happens within this year, within this administration. So again, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. I'll be down there later to have a conversation about what happened in Texas. And hopefully this continues to transpire in every state where we are deporting illegal immigrants. Again, remember to always stay curious and stay bold. And I'll see you in the next video.